Hey everybody, it's shame busting coach Jen Bovey from www.jenbovey.com. And I want to talk to you guys today about a concept that I'd been peripherally aware of. Like, I've had these experiences, but I hadn't been able to put it to words today until my friend Robin typed it up for me, and then it all started to fit into place. So the deal is that there are these people out there who mean well. I'm going to have to believe that they mean well. Otherwise, they're shitty, horrible human beings, and we're not going to go there today. But they mean well, and they say really inaccurate and untrue things to us, like, if you don't love yourself, no one else is going to be able to love you. And if you don't love yourself, the universe is obviously not going to grant your wishes, as if it's a freaking genie. Or if you don't love yourself, obviously you need my book, my plan, my whatever. So I'm going to get really real with you guys today. This is going to make some of you very uncomfortable, so you might want to turn away, click away, go away, whatever. I'm fat. See? That's fat. That's me. I deserve to love myself at this freaking weight. I deserve to love myself as much as, if not more, than somebody who's 103 pounds. I don't care. Because my weight does not determine my ability to love myself. My socioeconomic status does not determine my ability to love myself. It doesn't work that way for me. Are my arms big? Absolutely. You know what they do? They give amazing hugs. Is my stomach a little big? Yeah. Okay, a lot big? Yeah. What does it do? It holds my amazing power in there, and I'm not even joking. So I have to share with you my experience on that whole, I'm really trying not to swear, the whole crappy thing of, if you don't love yourself, no one else is going to be able to love you. That is absolutely not my experience. When my older sister's first child was born, I remember I was watching him and I freaked out, and I called a friend and I'm like, oh my God, I have this feeling and I don't know what this feeling is. Help me. And she was like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I don't know. I put him down in the bed and he's sleeping and I just want to wake him up so I can just spend more time with him. And she's like, I think that's love. And I'm like, no, it can't be. And she just said, why can't it be love? And I said, because I can't love people. And she was really confused, and she said, why can't you love people? And I said, because I don't love myself. That's how it works. Everybody has always told me, until I love myself, I can't love anybody else. But this little innocent baby, I was loving this baby. I would walk through fire for that baby today. So that's a bunch of bullshit. You start where you are. I don't care. I don't care if it's an animal. I don't care if it's a fucking plant. There with my swearing. I don't care if it's a child. I don't care if it's a pet. I don't care if it's the fucking tree in your yard. I don't care. You start where you're at, because you're worthy of love. I'm worthy of love. We're all worthy of love. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're unemployed, living in a cardboard box on the side of the damn road. You are still worthy of loving yourself. And I'll be damned if anybody around me says any different. I have to go now because I apparently need to change the world. I don't know. Seriously though, I have always used my circumstances in life and I've held myself back from really loving myself because I just didn't think I was worthy. And this world that we live in, and I don't mean this to be a slam against other people, but the world that we live in, where people that weigh 110 pounds are trying to teach the rest of us how to really love ourselves, that's not working for me anymore. So I'm going to be the person who steps forward and says, fuck it, I'm done. I'm worthy of loving myself. You are worthy of loving yourself. He is worthy of loving himself. She is worthy of loving himself. I don't care what kind of trauma you've been through, what kind of addiction you've been through, what kind of abusive relationship you've been through. I don't care how many jobs you've been fired from. I don't care how many houses you've been evicted from. You are still worthy of loving yourself. I don't know how much clearer I can get about that. I'm worthy of loving myself, and you're worthy of loving yourself. Bottom line, I don't want to take your money. I don't want to get rich off of you beating the hell out of yourself and making yourself feel worse and worse and littler and more like a piece of shit. That's not okay to me. That's what's wrong with part of what's wrong with this world. But here's my belief. I believe that if I build my worthiness up so high, and I believe that if I love myself so deep, and I believe that if I am unshakably in love with myself, nothing that this world can do can touch that shit. Nothing. Doesn't mean I'm always going to absolutely love myself 1,000,000%. It doesn't mean I'm always going to love my body 1,000,000%. We all have setbacks. I talked about that earlier this week, I think, where we were sitting in the restaurant and my husband was like, why are you still wearing your winter coat? It's like 8 million degrees in here. And I'm like, oh, my arms are going to show and it's going to make people uncomfortable. Okay. Sometimes in life, people need to get uncomfortable. Sometimes in life, people need to mind their own business. Sometimes in life, we need to step forward and we need to teach people how to love themselves. And so I'm not just doing this for me because I think I've found the path to loving myself. I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this for my daughter, for my niece, for their kids, for my neighbor, for my enemy, for that person who hates me that's cheering for me to fail. I'm doing it for everybody because we're all worth loving ourselves. And can you even imagine a world in which we all loved ourselves? Can you imagine how much the world would be different and how much our interactions would change? We wouldn't have these, again, I'm not picking on these people, but we wouldn't have these 108-pound women telling us all that we just need to love ourselves and then magically one day we'll wake up and we'll be thin and pretty and rich. Shit doesn't work like that in my world. Maybe it does for you. If it does, fantastic, hallelujah, have a great day. But it's never been my experience. In 43 years, life has never worked that way. I talk about in the book I'm releasing that as a little girl, like elementary age, I would lay in bed while the rest of my family was asleep and I would just pray and I would beg God to just let me wake up thin the next day. Because I believed if I could just wake up thin the next day, I could be worthy of loving. I've had clients who wouldn't step into their past because they were too fat. Absolutely. When I first started taking my business online, I didn't want to show up. I didn't want to do these lives because people would see my chins. They would see my arms. They would see my stomach. They would see my thighs. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. This is who I am. I'm an amazing person. And if you want to judge me based on my weights or based on my money or based on my voice or based on the fact that I've had a stroke so my left side doesn't smile as well as my right side, bye. I don't have time for that today. I'm out here trying to change the world and teach people how to love themselves. I don't have time for people who want to be shitty, hateful, self-absorbed, and self-centered. The world's not gonna, bye, I don't have time for it. So I believe that we all have inherent value and worth. Even those awful people who've done shitty things to me in the past. I had to forgive them. Why? Not because of them, but because I want to truly feel pure, real love for myself and of myself. Bottom line, I want nothing standing in the way of me falling madly, deeply, and passionately in love with me. Because what I know to be true, what I witnessed to be true, what I've experienced to be accurate, is that once I have that deep amount of self-love, then everything starts to fall into place. Then I treat myself a little more gently and a little more kinder. And I start practicing active daily self-care. And I start making better choices for my clothes, whatever, for my body, for my hair, for my life, for my wellness. I start really, really investing in me. And I have more to give to my husband, to my kids, to my family, to my friends, to my clients, to my neighbors, to anybody who wants or needs something from me. So I'm not trying to, I don't feel like I have this shirt on correct, but whatever. I'm not trying to purport that self-love is some magical new age hippy dippy, not that I have anything wrong with hippies, but I'm not trying to purport that self-love is some kind of magical cure-all. It's not. I still have to do some really hard work. I still have to show up every day. But the difference between me when I didn't have any love for myself and me today is I believe in me. The other difference is I'm empowered now to make good choices for myself. I'm empowered to be able to say, this doesn't feel good, I'm going to step away for a few minutes. This feels unsafe, I'm not going to go in. This doesn't feel like it's going to promote me or support me. I'm out. And that's all daily acts of self-love. You know, we talk about the 5 love languages, and I'll be honest, I'm a kind of a hypocrite because I've never been able to make it all the way through the book. Although, hilarious side story, my first wedding, this woman that I knew from the church I grew up in sent me the 5 love languages for singles. I think it might have been a sign at the time. Maybe not, but I kind of thought so. It was hilarious to me. Anyway, we talk about the 5 love languages and how those impact our relationships, but what about ourselves? What are you doing to show yourself that you're worthy of loving yourself? What are you doing to show up for yourself today? I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you sound like. I don't care what you make financially. I don't care where you live. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is that you're worth loving yourself just as much as I'm worth loving myself. Just as much as my dog is worth loving herself. Let's look at dogs for a minute. My dog never, ever expects to be rejected. And if by chance I do reject her, in my mind, not in hers, she'll come back 5 minutes later and be like, hey, got time? Can we play the ball? Can we do this? Hello? Huh? And she'll kiss me and lick me. Because there's that unconditional love. And I really, really want you guys all to develop unconditional love for yourself. Start treating yourselves like your puppy treats you. Start treating yourselves like your kids when they're 3 or 4 or 5 treat you. That amazing belief, that solid foundation that you're the best person in the world and you're their biggest hero. And let's notice what changes. So I hope this was relatable. I feel like I went all over the place. I'm going to go grab some lunch now and come back and do some work. So thanks for being here. Thanks for being a part of my journey. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Bye.